The recipes, views, and opinions expressed in this channel are solely those of the speaker. They do not reflect, collaborate, or substitute the views and opinions of a medical health professional. Please consult a professional with any dietary concerns and inquiries prior to trying the recipes. Welcome to the channel.
Alright, so let's start this video by me telling you a story about me, centered around this past week. So this weekend I was supposed to take my second shot, but I did not take that shot. The reason being, 2-3 days before, I had a headache and a lot of pressure in my head, and I developed buzzing, and I was just hot. The kind of hot that you feel like you're in a dry sauna hot. Yet the temperature in my house, or my apartment, was normal. So I was just uncomfortable. Now fortunately, I work in health insurance. No, don't comment, and please don't come for me. I cannot solve your health insurance issues, but that's where I work. And I am lucky enough to be surrounded by pharmacists. So I told them about what was going on, and I got 2 recommendations. 1, get a blood test done so that they can check the number of white cells. If there's an increase, it might indicate there's some sort of infection, and it will also indicate if there is something that is not in alignment, or at least levels that they run with the tests are not in alignment. The other recommendation I got was that I possibly have an ear infection. Nobody has mentioned ear infection to me this whole entire time. So I was pushed by my director specifically to call my provider, and he specifically said to me, if they do not give you what you need, keep knocking on doors until you get an answer. Typically, I'm an easygoing person, so I tend not to rock the boat. It's not my forte. Even if I work in corporate America, if I have to rock the boat, it has to be absolutely necessary. You have to have given the reason, the why, the how, the what, the when, before I'm like, I am about to walk into this dungeon and face whatever monster is gonna come in the darkness. I have to have that in my workspace, and even when I relate to people. But I tend to be an amicable individual. You have to put me in a place where I'm actually feeling as such. But we're not here to talk about myself. So with his encouragement, I called my provider, just like I'm asking you guys to do when things are off. So I have a video call with my provider. And I run through what's happening. And she says to me, sounds like you have seasonal allergies. The reason she thought I had seasonal allergies was because I told her when I'm working out, my nose is running. Of course my nose is running because I have a mask on. It's going to run. But all she heard was the fact that my nose was running. So I asked her, well, could I possibly have a seasonal allergy, or when I don't have any drainage, only when I'm working out? And her whole explanation was this pressure in your head. You have a headache where your sinuses are located, so could be possible. But something in me was nagging, because I know I don't have allergies. Now I have allergies to certain products, like lotions or perfumes, but I do not have internal allergies, not in the way that she is trying to present it. And she's recommending another antihistamine, which I had just cut off one, and I was not about to pop a new one. So to be honest, I got irritated. And when I got irritated by the idea that it's, hey, pop this pill, pop that pill, with no real conclusive thing. I had to advocate for myself. I had to stand up. This was the moment when I was in the dungeon and the monster I had to face was needing to be faced at this moment in time. So I told her, can we run a blood test? Let me tell you, you should never ever tell somebody who is experienced in what they do what they should do. But I did. And of course, she did not take it very well, because in her whole thing, she was like, what do you think we're going to find on it? I said, I don't know. Elevated white blood cells, maybe try and see if there is an infection running rampant in my body. And if it's not, can we at least cancel that out? So reluctantly, she agreed to it, but I could tell she was not happy. Now, when it comes to knowing yourself and knowing your body, you need to speak up, because most of these providers are just going to run with symptoms. So if somebody is going to throw a diagnosis at you that you have never experienced in your life, then you need to say something, because you're the only one who knows your history. My history, I've never had an allergy, not in that way that she is explaining. So she needed to explain to me why she's getting to that conclusion. While it sounds logical, I could also see the reason why my nose was running is because I have a mask on and I'm working out. So there's going to be mucus. And if I am working out outdoors, especially here in Washington, it's raining all the time. And the weather is up and down, the wind is blowing, so your nose is going to run. Logical explanation for that. So I was not satisfied with the answer she gave, so I had to push her. I did push her. It's been 4 days and I still don't have my test results. Which I thought, I'm laughing because it's like, there's other things you might not want to do. But at this point, after 4 weeks of going through this, I was not about to go through the medley of popping pills and possibly, putting more toxins in my body. Because when you're popping drugs, to my opinion, when I pop drugs, I feel that I am actually adding toxins into my body. And it's taken me a minute to cleanse it. So before you recommend a med, you better be very sure that I need to be popping this med. So she agrees. I go in, I take the labs are taken, still waiting for the results, but I'm still feeling shitty. But then I remembered my director told me keep knocking on doors until somebody gives you an answer. So I went to a different clinic, somewhere I've never been before. And I walked in and I ran through the same story I had given my doc. And the first thing she did was check my ears. And when she checked my ears, she saw scarring and white patches on it. And she said, it looks like you have had an ear infection that is kind of on its healing stages. And I was like, okay. Which she kind of put in the time frame of, it could be possible you had it when you took the vaccine, you just didn't know that's what it was. So I sat down and I did have some conversations with her. And in having those conversations, the truth was, she was very honest in saying, there is no way we can detect whether or not a vaccine is causing the symptoms, this vaccine specifically. All we can do is treat the symptoms. So take that nugget and know that they're treating symptoms. So be sure that they're treating the right symptoms. And if you hear something that is not in alignment with your history or your health history, then you need to be asking it questions. Which brings me to the next part. Being honest with yourself and advocating for yourself. So I'm going to take a pause here. When I thought of doing these videos for you guys, I grappled with what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. I was clear about certain things. One, I was clear of the fact that I did want to help people, especially with my channel, so that they can have alternatives to having a healthy body in order to, work through these things that I am actually enduring. But because I felt so much pressure to perform, pressure to be in front of you in a way where I can come through as possibly presentable, trustworthy, credentialed in one way or another, make you feel like I am a safe person advocating for the things that you are struggling with, I started to do things that I normally do not do. One being putting on makeup. Now, I love putting on makeup, but I only put it on if I have a special occasion or somewhere to go. So me having to do this made me feel like I had to present myself in a certain way. So I started putting on makeup. But this is not me. The whole idea of this channel is to be as authentic as I can possibly be with you. To be transparent. To give you the nitty-gritty and you walk through to figure out what the truth of it is. But I have added too much to the repertoire in order to appease the audience. Look presentable. Look credible. Look like somebody who knows what they're talking about. But the truth is, whether you listen to me or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is, does what I am providing help the next person? That's the goal. And I sat back and actually felt like I was being disingenuous. Like I was doing what my provider just did. Throwing spaghetti on the walls and hoping something sticks. I did not want to be fraudulent. I don't want to be phony. I don't want to be talking to people looking like something I'm usually not. Now, don't get me wrong, love putting on makeup. It's the thing that I love to do. However, when I think to myself, what do I need to do all this for, when all I need to do is speak on the message that needs to be presented? The second thing was I, being the kind of person who does not like to have conflict, was teeter-tottering on the truth. The truth about my journey and how I have got to where I have has all been centered around my faith. My Christian faith. My belief in God, my belief in Jesus, the Bible, and using the Bible as a tool to navigate me through things. So my healing process and how I deal with my side effects is never a one-directional thing telling you eat this and go do this and everything's gonna be all right. I always have a 3-step approach. The physical, the medical, the spiritual. There is nothing that we are about to do that is going to work without those 3 being addressed on a consistent basis. And so I had a very tough time sitting back, trying to figure out how do I get to you guys and be as authentic as possible. Most of us just want to listen to the story. Good. Listen to the story. But do you necessarily need to listen to the story if I have a ton of makeup on? No, you don't. You do not. So, I am going to do my video, the next part of this video, with some truth. And I'm hoping that by speaking to you about my truth, which is the biblical truth, and speaking to you about what has got me looking at life by using biblical principles, you, a believer or non-believer, will be able to grab something that you can use to be able to facilitate you with navigating things in this life. So, I'm going to go wash my face and I will be back.
And that is the end of the video, guys. I really do appreciate you guys sticking to the very end of the video. The goal of these videos is to be as informative and as transparent as possible. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. If you are interested in any of the recipes that I have going on, please do check out my website. Also follow me on my social media because I do post most of my day-to-day meals there as well. I'm hoping, once again, this is going to be informational for you guys, and your body is your temple. So how you take care of it is how it will manifest and actually produce for you. So keep strong, keep healthy, and as always, stay blessed. We will see you on the next video.